Preparing to come and be writing books. Sule Lamido. All other protocols duly observed. There are too many dignitaries here, so let me not waste time with too much of protocol. Reviewing a book of almost 500 pages is not an easy task, especially as it relates to an equally complex human being like Sule Lamido. So whatever I present to you today is basically an appetizer, and also to encourage you to read the book. It's a big book, but when you start reading, you can hardly drop it. The book, being true to myself, is an autobiography that chronicles the life and times of Sule Lamido. Sule offers us an insight into his childhood in Bamaina village, that is in Jigawa State, his basic schooling in Birnin Kudu and Barawa College Zaria, his working life and rich political career. Bamaina, where Sule was born in 1948, was a small agricultural village inhabited by Fulani cattle rearers. His father and uncle were the administrative and spiritual leaders of the village. This conferred on Sule a privileged status as a village prince. As he puts it in the book, I was born into a life of affluence, but I grew up with a tenacious sense of empathy towards the less privileged. This aristocratic cattle rearer was fortunate to escape the bleak life of cattle rearing when the then Emir of Kano, Muhammad Sanusi, forced his father to enroll him in Western education schools, first in Birnin Kudu and later Baloa College Zaria. This began the transformation of Sule Lamido from a village prince with a narrow world of view to a pan-Nigerian nationalist. Mixing with Nigerians from different backgrounds, particularly in Barawa College, and teachers from outside Nigeria, young Sule, first as a railway engineer. Sule, when you read the book, you will understand this engineer Sule. Later, as a police recruit, a tobacco salesman, and finally, as a seller of sweets. Those of you who are old enough to remember Trevor, which was produced by Chris Lake. These jobs took Sule to various Nigerian towns: Zaria, Bauchi, Maiduguri, Lagos, and back to Kano. Life in these towns offers Sule real-life education. Interestingly, it is in Lagos where he shared a building with staunch Nepal stalwarts Malan Lawan Dambazao, Audu Dambarnu, and Alhaji Zama Gashwa, that Sule first encountered Nepal ideas and political philosophy. As fate will have it, when Chrislab authorities posted Sule back to Kano, he again shared quarters with Nepal activists. This began Sule's journey into politics. As of then, Northern Nigerian politics was dominated by Northern People's Congress, controlled by people of aristocratic pedigree. One would have expected Sule, who was a village aristocrat, to join the MPC. But the chance encounters with Nepal activists activated his childhood tenacious sense of empathy towards the less privileged. Hence, Sule later joined the offshoot of Nepal, the People's Redemption Party, and became one of its prominent leaders. Sule quickly worked his way from local party organization to an elected member of the House of Representatives on the PRP platform. Sule was attracted to NEPU PRP principles of justice, fairness, human dignity, and respect for human rights. This has remained the cornerstone of his politics. Character of Sule. The NEPU philosophy of social justice and Islamic upbringing. Sule believes strongly in his own Islamic teaching. Underpins Sule's character in thought and in practice. Apart from his fierce and eloquent defense of the underprivileged, Sule courageously and fearlessly stands up against what and those he perceives as oppressors and tyrants. Only Sule could tell a powerful Inspector General of Police to his face, "Who are you?" Only Sule could boldly tell a military president to his face, "Sir, you must resign and leave office." Only Sule will refuse to sign a post-dated letter of resignation, a precondition for serving as a foreign minister under General Obasanjo. It is this same courageous and principled character that Sule took to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where he bluntly refused to be dictated to by both the American Secretary of State, Madeleine Albright, and Robin Cook, the British Foreign Minister. Sule took on powerful ministers from both emerging and Western nations and insisted that debt forgiveness must be included in a community at their meeting. They caved in and they included the issue of debt forgiveness, which was the cornerstone of the Obasanjo administration. Back to domestic politics. Sule Lamido presents a passionate account of our collective struggles against military dictatorship. From a nucleus of 9 patriotic Nigerians that opposed General Abacha, Sule remained an active participant as the group grew to 18 to 34 and later midwife the People's Democratic Party, the party that eased out the military and stabilized democratic rule between 1999 and 2015. He was detained, traumatized, and subjected to indignities by both General Abacha and later President Goodluck Jonathan. And of course, Sule never gave in. He stood firm. After several attempts to govern Jigawa, Sule was finally sworn in as the governor of Jigawa State in 2007, a poor rural state badly managed by his predecessor. Once sworn in, Sule assembled both the elite and non-elite of the state. Given his background, he paid special attention to the ordinary people, the Talakawa. As he put it, he tapped their powers during and after the Talakawa summit, which he hosted. Sule maintained direct day-to-day communication because he made his telephone available to everybody in the state and answered nearly every text message and call. Sule maintained direct day-to-day communication with farmers, peasants, fishermen, weavers, maternity assistants, and unemployed people. Every reader of the book should pay special attention to the accounts of the traditional birth attendant, the shoemaker, the weaver, and the carpenter on pages 319 to 322. They are very, very interesting accounts which castigates with the elites and suggests how they feel they should be governed. To uplifting the lives of the poor that enabled Governor Sule Lamido to lay a solid foundation for modern Jigawa State. Sule built roads, a modern airport, primary and secondary schools, a university, healthcare centers, and hospitals, a big school of nursing, because when Sule took over, there were only 15 indigenous nurses in Jigawa State. So he had to build a very big nursing school. He gave special attention to agriculture by educating farmers, providing machineries and inputs, and improving the relationship between herdsmen and farmers in Jigawa State. Sule concludes by pulling together several issues discussed in the book, with particular focus on the challenges of today's democracy. To Sule Lamido, the tyranny and greed of today's leaders is at the fulcrum of democratic failures, both in the political parties, local governments, the states, and the nation as a whole. Sule divides the period 1999 to date into two: the PDP era and the APC era. The PDP era is presented as the era of democratic consolidation and development. He states that the APC era of 2015 to date is a disaster to the nation. Nigerians are therefore asked to choose between these two. In personal encounters with people of power, Sule Lamido spoke and continues to speak truth to power. In domestic and foreign affairs, Lamido remains true to himself. There is so much to learn from this humble villager, courageous agitator for the oppressed, steadfast governor of the poor and hungry, principled, humorous, and patriotic Nigerian. The book is a must-read for both rulers and the ruled. I thank Sule very much for asking me to present this short review, and I want to also request Sule to do us a favor. He has 2 more books to present to us. A more detailed account of his service as foreign minister. That was a little bit too sketchy in the book. And also a comprehensive compendium of his achievements in Jigawa State. Nigerians need to know more on what you did and how you did it, so that many other young governors can emulate what you did and you continue to do for the people of Nigeria. Thank you very much for listening, and may God bless you.